Welcome back to the GBA Week 7. This week we're playing against Grandmaster D-Ray and his team, the San Diego Snugglers. They've got a very threatening team. They've got the Annihilate and the Palafin amongst other things. Very hard team to prep around, to be honest with you. They are on a bit of a losing streak, so hopefully we can keep that streak going and get a W this week. Otherwise, we're the ones on the losing streak. But anyway, let's jump into the first member of the team. So we figured Iron Leaves will be really good this game. It matches really well against our whole team, pretty much. We've got Leaf Blade, Side Blade, Swords Dance, and the Wild Charge. The Wild Charge is there for the Iron Jugglers if they bring it. We've also got just enough attack so that we get booster energy and speed, and we are going Terra Psychic this time. We didn't think Terrifier was necessary, as all it does is makes us susceptible to Jet Punch from the Palafin. Moving on, we've got Gengar. Gengar is running a Choice Spec set because they really don't have a very good switch into Gengar, other than maybe the Muck. So we've got Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Thunderbolt, and Trick. Thunderbolt is there to hit, amongst other things, Iron Jugglers, and of course the Palafin for super effective damage. It actually KOs the Palafin, so I have a feeling they're going to lead off with the Palafin, so our game plan is to lead with Gengar, try and get a Thunderbolt off straight away on something, and just do major damage. Obviously, if the Cyclizar is there, it's going to be able to switch in on both Shadow Ball and Thunderbolt, but it should be fine. Trick's also there just in case we need to trick something. It could be crucial, you never know. Next up, we have Walking Wake with Choice Specs as well. We're running double Choice Specs for some reason. Well, not for some reason. It's because basically the only way we're going to power through this my opponent's team is if we bring pure power. So we're bringing Choice Specs Walking Wake and Choice Specs Gengar. We've got Draco Meteor, Hydro Steam, Flamethrower, and Dragapults, and you might be wondering why we've got Hydro Steam. I will get back to that later. Next up, we've got Moltres Galar with the Lumberry, carrying Fiery Wrath, Air Slash, Agility, and Nasty Plot. Basically, this thing is there to try and break some holes. We've got some bulk investment, only a little bit so we can take hits just a little bit better. And basically, we need to get rid of the Clef Key pretty much if we get rid of the Clef Key. Moltres does really well against that team if we get Agility and Nasty Plot up. Lumberry is obviously there to shrug off any status afflictions that might come our way. For example, a Thunder Wave from the Rotom Wash. Next up, we have Rotom Heat, who has Volt Switch, Overheat, Thunder Wave, and a Sunny Day. The Thunder Wave is there to cripple things like the Palafin, if they decide to switch that in for some reason. The Annihilate as well. Sunny Day is there to help the Walking Wake. If we can get a Photosynthesis in Special Attack and Choice Specs, there is nothing that's going to switch in to Walking Wake, especially in the sun with that Hydro Steam. Oh, it's going to sting something. And we've got the Heat Rock as well, just to make it so that the sun lasts a bit longer. Lastly, we have Great Tusk with a Choice Band, again, going for the pure power. We've got Close Combat, Headlong Rush, Rapid Spin, and Knockoff with max HP and max attack. Well, not max HP, we've got just enough speed EVs so that if they're defensive Rotom, we still outspeed them a little bit, just in case they decide to speed creep our Great Tusk if we're bulky. And that's it, that's the team. Wish me luck. Going straight into the team preview right now. Okay, D-Ray's brought the team we kind of thought they would bring. The Annihilate, the Palafin, Clef Key, the Cyclizar, the Rotom, and of course the Arcanine. So, not a bad matchup. Gengar definitely puts in work here. There's no Muck as well, which is good to note. So we could actually lead off with the Gengar, no problem, because they're probably going to lead with Palafin so they can get it in and out, like get that zero to hero form straight away. So that was kind of the game plan. We knew they'd bring the Palafin. We knew they'd probably lead with the Palafin, so let's just do that. If they lead with something else, then we can kind of handle it somehow. We'll have to just cross that bridge when we get to it. And the battle begins. We're in the Elite Four room again. Cool. So D-Ray's going to lead off with Brosidon, the Palafin, as we lead off with the Gengar straight away. We're off to a good start. We're off to a very good start. So I'm going to click Thunderbolt straight away on this thing. No matter what they switch in, it's going to do a lot of damage. It is Choice Specs after all. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. There's no real reason for me not to. They do hard switch, proving they're not Choice Scarfed at least. And they're going to go into what? Harley? What's Harley? Harley the Cyclizar to take Shadow Ball and or a Thunderbolt. So we go for a Thunderbolt real quick. It's going to do a lot of damage to the Cyclizar still. That is a Silt Vest. That is 100% a Silt Vest. So it's good to know it's a Silt Vest. Very good to know it's a Silt Vest. Limited on what it can actually do though, which is good. So what we can do now is we could go into Rotom if we want to. Rotom is specially defensive. If this thing carries Draco Meteor or Knockoff, as we're probably going to expect a Knockoff. Knockoff would also hurt a bit. We don't look like we need Manual Sun really, because Great Tusk just goes off. Great Tusk really goes off. Close Combat, slash Headlong Rush. They really don't have the best switch-ins in the world with Great Tusk, so I'm going to go straight into Rotom right now. They have no ground type, so we can go for a nice and powerful slow Volt Switch. They probably go for a Shed Tail here. No, because if they're Assault Vest, they can't go for Shed Tail. They've got to be Assault Vest, right, based on that damage. They go for a Knockoff, which is fair enough. That's going to knock off our Heat Rock, so no Manual Sun for us. Well, we can, but there's just no point. So I'm going to go for a slow Volt Switch right now, see what they're going to do. They go for an Aqua Tail, which we eat up nicely. And we're able to go for a Volt Switch now. So they are looking like it. They're a fully offensive Assault Vest Cyclizar. So pretty interesting set to say the least. Very interesting set. So we actually don't have anything that outspeeds other than the Verizon here. After a Booster Energy, we can go for a Swords Dance. They can go for a Knockoff if they really want to, but it's not really going to do much. But while that Klefki's around, I do not want to waste my Iron Leaves. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go straight into Great Tusk. And the reason I'm going to Great Tusk here is quite simply because we want to go for a close combat here. But they're going to see this as an opportunity to go into the Annihilate, no doubt. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm actually going to go for a Knockoff. Just because... No. Yeah, I'm going to go for a Knockoff. And the reason being is because I'm expecting them to switch out for a start. But I don't know what they're going to go into. They could go Rotom for the Headlong Rush. Or they could go into Annihilate for the close combat. They go into the Rotom, so it's a good job I didn't go for a Headlong Rush. We go for a Knockoff, which is going to do a solid 50% nearly, knocking off their leftovers, which is great. And now we can just switch out into whatever we want. So I'm leaning towards Walking Wake. Leaning towards Walking Wake or Verizon. I don't want to get burned on my Verizon, though. So, my Iron Leaf, sorry. So I'm leaning towards Walking Wake a little bit with a Choice Specs Draco Meteor, because looking at the damage that Knockoff did, I'd say they were probably like mixed defensive or physically defensive or something along those lines. So with that in mind, what do we go into here? I'm leaning towards Moltres or Walking Wake. I'm thinking Walking Wake's a solid one, so I'm going to go into Walking Wake. Definitely going to go into Walking Wake right now. So there we go, withdrawing the Great Tusk, which is ideal. We're going to go into the Walking Wake, the Leviathan over here. And hopefully we can take a hit from this thing. They go for a Volt Switch on the Switch. Fair enough. Good play on my opponent's part. That's going to give them a free switch out into whatever they want to go into. More than likely going to see a Klefki switch, I would say, or a Cyclizar again. Cyclizar, so we can go for the Outrage or the Dragon Claw to finish us off, because it does outspeed us after all. One Chains comes in. That's going to be the Annihilate, right? No, it's the Klefki. Okay, never mind. Why did I think it was the Annihilate? Oh, well, something about chains. He's got the cuff locks on it, hasn't it? You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, this thing is probably going to paralyze us or set up screens. So I'm going to go straight for a Flamethrower to get damage off on it. And then I'm going to hard switch into Great Tusk just to see what it does. Now, do I go straight to Great Tusk now? Just in case they Thunder Wave, right? We definitely go straight into Great Tusk right now. Definitely go straight into Great Tusk right now. Or Rotom. Rotom could also be good. We can get that Sunny Day up. Rotom could be good. Rotom could be very good. Let's just see what happens if we go into Great Tusk right now. Let's just see what happens, because even if they go for a Play Rough, it's not going to do much damage to Great Tusk, because Klefki is not exactly an offensive Pokemon, unless they've brought offensive Klefki, in which case kudos to them. That's a good play. They go for a Spike, so they're getting the layers of Spikes up, which is fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. Looking at the team, we probably go for a close combat here, expecting the Rotom to come back in. And then they get a free switch into the Annihilate. So I'm going to go for that. I'm going to go straight for the close combat here. They don't stay in. There's no way they keep the Klefki in against the Great Tusk. That's just suicide. So they do withdraw. Are they going to go straight into the Annihilate to block the Rapid Spin? Bananas, that's going to be the Annihilate, yeah. Annihilate comes in. So we go for a close combat. Luckily, this means we don't get any damage off on the Annihilate, which is good to note. Very good to note. So what do we do now? That's the real question, because we're locked in. We can't touch this thing. I think we have to go into Rotom. And try and go for a Thunder Wave or something along those lines. There we go, withdrawing our Great Tusk. I should have gone for a Headlong Rush there. It was pretty obvious they're going to Annihilate to try and block the Rapid Spin, but it's whatever. So anyway, Rotom comes in. There we go. They go for a Drain Punch, taking our Rotom out. So 8 over Rotom. So we got a couple of options here. We could go straight into Forks, the Moltres Galar, but then that's just easy bait for the Klefki to come in. But Klefki can't really do anything to us Thunder Wave wise or anything because we're a Dark type. So I'm leaning towards Gengar, but it depends on what Terra type they are, really. If they're we need them to Terra before we bring Gengar in against them. We really need them to Terra before we bring Gengar in against them. That's for sure. That is 100% for sure. So I'm leaning towards Walking Wake right now for a drop of Draco or a Hydro Steam. I'm leaning towards that. But I kind of want to keep that healthy to take a Jet Punch from the Palafin. So I think I will go into Moltres. I will go into Moltres right now. We'll go into Moltres right now. Now, they could Terra Fairy here or Terra Ghost. And they probably will do one of those things right now. More than likely. If the Terra Fairy was screwed, what they either do is they're either going to... They either go into Klefki. They either go into Klefki, right? Or they Terra Fairy. Klefki or Terra Fairy, one of the two. So I think we should hard switch into Great Tusk right now. I think that's what we should do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I think that's what we should do. We should make the double switch into Great Tusk. And hopefully it pays off. So we do outspeed as well, which is good to note. They must be a bulky variant of Annihilate. Or they haven't switched out. They have withdrawn. So Moltres outspeeds. Moltres does not have much speed investment. It has a lot of bulk investment. So in comes one change, which is the Klefki. There we go. So we made the right play here. We made the right play here. We got to go for a headlong rush here. No, we don't. We go for a close combat again. Right? Because they definitely go Rotom now. They're not going to expect a Rapid Spin. They're going to expect us to predict the Annihilate and go for a headlong rush or a knockoff. So we go for a close combat, right? Expecting the Rotom, because the Rotom's already been knocked off for a start. Yeah, let's go for a close combat again. If the Annihilate comes in, then so be it. But I don't think it does. I really don't think it does. Full load comes in, which is going to be the Rotom. There we go. And we get a close combat off, which is definitely going to KO. There we go. So Rotom goes down. Tusk. Rotom. Wash. There we go. Perfect. So we got the Rotom out of the way, which means now nothing on their team can switch into a headlong rush from our Great Tusk, which is very, very, very good for us. So in comes Brosidon, which is, of course, the Palafin. Nice and shiny. Gotta love it. I do like shiny Palafin Zeros to hero form. So we're locked into close combat. We're low on defense. We've got to switch out. What are we going to? Walking Wake? Yeah, Walking Wake. Walking Wake is the only way we're going to switch into a Jet Punch / Wave Crash. It 4 times resists it. They could go for a close combat predicting the switch. If they do, that's a good play on their behalf. But if they don't, then we're going to eat it up nicely. So, and that's great. So they go for a flip turn, which does nothing to us, of course. And they're going to go back. Now that the Rotom is gone, we don't have Rotom switching, which is great. So we can fire off Hydro Steams if we want to. In comes Harley. Harley is the Cyclizar. So Cyclizar comes in. It's going to go for an Outrage or a Dragon Claw. I just know it. I just know it. So I'm tempted to go into the Moltres. Galar. That could work. Maybe. But at the same time, I'm also thinking Great Tusk could work. But I don't want to ruin Great Tusk, you know. Really don't want to. I thought they'd bring Iron Jugless, to be fair, but they haven't brought it, so it's whatever. It's whatever. Do we keep Walking Wake in here, or do we go Moltres? I think we go Moltres. Moltres isn't doing too much for us this game. Moltres can definitely take a hit from this thing as well, because we have defensive investments. So we'll go into Moltres. There we go. Moltres comes in. They go for a Dragon Claw. I figured they'd have Dragon Claw over Outrage, because Outrage, you're locking yourself in. So I'm curious as to whether to go to an Agility or a Nasty Plot here. I'm leaning towards Agility. And then Nasty Plot afterwards. So I'm going to go for the Agility. Agility does let us outspeed. They go for a knockoff, which is going to knock off our Lumberry. Which is fair enough. Going to knock off our Lumberry right there. We go for an Agility. There we go. Now we just need to go for a Nasty Plot. And then we start tearing into their team, really. Pretty much that's all we got to do. Start tearing into the team a bit. So they do withdraw. Are they going to go Klefki? Because Klefki kind of walls us. One chains. That's going to be the Klefki. Klefki comes in. Nice and shiny. Got to love it. So we go for a Nasty Plot here. Nasty Plot is obviously going to make us our special attack go sky high. Absolutely sky high. We go for a Fiery Wrath because they can't do any prankster stuff to us. They can't Thunder Wave us or anything like that. They can't do anything like that because we're a Dark type. So we go for a Fiery Wrath. It looks like they've attacked us with an attacking move. Does a lot of damage to them. Could flinch them. They go for a Dazzling Gleam. And that does a lot of damage. But we do activate our Berserk, which is good. Can one more Fiery Wrath KO. It could also flinch as well. Let's go for the fiery ref and find out. Let's just go for it. I mean, getting damage on the clef key is going to be important anyway, because it's obviously a wall to my walking wake. And then once we get this out of the way, walking wake can come in and go ham. Doesn't get the KO on the clef key, but we do get the flinch. We do get the flinch! Okay. Okay, we're off to a good start. We're going to get rid of the clef key with Moltres. Moltres is finally going to do something for the team. So Moltres, clef key. Which is great, because, I mean, I know we're susceptible to Jet Punch and Extreme Speed from the Arcanine now, but it's fine. We can live with that. So they're going to go into Bruisidon right now. They're going to go into Bruisidon right now. They have to go for a Jet Punch here. They have to go for a Jet Punch. They won't expect us to switch out. I don't really want to switch out. I don't think we can afford more damage on our Walking Wake, but now that the clef key is gone, if we can get a Verizon in, and get a Swords Dance off. Oh my, that's going to be great. It's going to be so great. So great. So I'm going to go for a Fiery Wrath here and let myself go down. They do go for a Jet Punch, taking out Moltres Galar, which is absolutely fine by me. Okay, now we've got a couple of options. We can go straight to Verizon if we want to, or we can go into Walking Wake and get some damage off. I'm leaning towards Walking Wake to get a Draco Meteor off. I think that's going to be important. We do outspeed. We get a free Draco off, and it's going to be great. Spikes are obviously going to hurt us a little bit, but it's fine. Now we just go for a Draco Meteor, get some damage off on this thing, get some damage off on something. So they were going to withdraw the Brosidon. They're going to go into the Annihilate. Annihilate's going to is definitely going to take the Draco. I'm not going to lie though. I think it doesn't take it too well. Yeah, it doesn't take it that well at all. So Annihilate comes in. It does not take the Draco Meteor very well at all. It is going to pop a... Oh, leftovers. Okay, so leftovers. Not a berry. I thought it was a berry for some reason, but it's not. We can just go for another Draco Meteor here, quite easily KOing the Annihilate. They do Terra. They're going to Terra Fairy. They're going to Terra Fairy and get a Drain Punch off. Probably, right? They Terra Fairied. They Terra Fairied on us. They Terra Fairied on us. We've boosted their Rage Fist by 1 point now, which is good to note. So Draco Meteor doesn't affect, which is fine. They're going to go for a Drain Punch to finish us off right now. There we go, and they're going to get some delicious, nutritious HP back, which is absolutely fine by me, because guess what? Guess what they don't have a switch in for now? Gengar. Gengar can Sludge Bomb all it wants right now. Gengar can Sludge Bomb all it wants, and this is what I was waiting for. I was waiting for that Annihilate to Terra, so that we know what we can lock ourselves into with Gengar. We know what we can lock ourselves into with Gengar. We've got Gengar right here, ready to go. So, Wake, Ape. Wake hurt by Ape. Wake hurt by Ape. So we go straight for a Sludge Bomb here. There's no reason not to. Absolutely zero reason not to. So we go for a Sludge Bomb, take out the Annihilate. Gengar takes out Ape. There we go. So the Annihilate goes down, which is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And now we just got to deal with the rest of the team. In comes Brosidon. So there's a couple of things about this matchup that I don't really like. The Jet Punch is going to hurt, obviously. I don't want to bring Verizon in just like off and on. Well, here's the thing. We don't know what set this Palafin is. Is it choice banded? If it's choice banded, Jet Punch KOs us, but then we've won with Iron Leaves, because we just have to pop our booster energy and go for a Swords Dance. Is that enough to KO? No, we're Terra Psychic, so we'll definitely KO the Arcanine unless it's defensive. I say we stay in and we Sludge Bomb. We stay in and we Sludge Bomb. I say we stay in. They go for a Jet Punch. Is it going to KO? It does KO, but can we get the Cursed Body? We get the Cursed Body, which is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic right now. Absolutely fantastic right now. So we've got to take... Right, this is a great battle so far. So Palafin takes out Gengar. Now we can just go straight into Great Tusk. And we can just go for a Headlong Rush right now. Or a Close Combat, whichever one. Doesn't really matter which one. No, Headlong Rush is better because it hits the Arcanine for super effective damage. So we go straight for the Headlong Rush here. There's no reason not to. And we save Iron Leaves as a last-ditch effort at the back there. They definitely switch out here and sack something off. But what they sack off is going to be determining the game. So they withdraw. What are they going to sack off to the Headlong Rush? Arcanine? Harley. That's going to be the Cyclizar, right? Yep, Cyclizar comes in. Cyclizar comes in. We go for a Headlong Rush. taking out the Cyclizar in return. So Tusk, Cyclizar. There we go. All right, we're looking good. We're looking good. Looking good so far. We have got lowered defenses, so the Brosidon can come in right now and jet punch us to oblivion. Or we can switch into Verizon. But what I'm leaning towards is I'm leaning towards Verizon winning this for us. Because I'm confident that thing's choice banded for a start. I'm confident the choice banded for a start. So I go for a headlong rush here. I can't switch out. They go for a flip turn? That still KOs? Palafin's so strong, man. Flip turn's like base 40 power. That still KOs. That's crazy good. Crazy good. So Tusk goes down to the Palafin. In comes Shere Khan, which is the Arcanine, of course. We're going to bring Verizon in. We'll bring Verizon in. There we go. Get some spikes damage, which is unfortunate. We are going to pop a booster energy, which is great. And all they have to do here is... I think we've lost this, you know. I think I could have played that a bit better, but I think we've lost this. So we're going to Terra. We're going to Swords Dance. We're going to Psyblade. That's the best thing I can think to do. So I'm going to Terra Psychic, Swords Dance, Psyblade, and go from there. I'd rather not Terra because the Jet Punch is no longer resisted, but at the same time, the Arcanine's Flare Blitz will KO us, so it's like, what do I do? There we go. Going to Terra into a Terra Psychic type. I feel like... I can't identify where my mistakes were this game, but I feel like we made some big mistakes, so we Terra Psychic anyway. We Terra Psychic anyway. We get that Swords Dance off, which is great. And this could work out. This probably won't work out for us, though. They go for a Flare Blitz. Does a lot of damage. Does a lot of damage, to say the least. And now the combination of Extreme Speed plus a Jet Punch afterwards is definitely going to KO us. So I'm going to go for that Psyblade anyway. They might not have Extreme... Oh, yeah, they do. I was going to say they might be locked in. They might be locked in for all I know. But no, we go for a Psyblade now. It should KO the Arcanine, which is great. Should KO the Arcanine, which is great. It barely lived. And we've got Rocky Helmet as well. What a game. What a game, right? Arcanine takes out, leaves. There we go. And it's a nice 2-0 victory to my opponent. So GG, D-Ray. About time you got to win. Because you've gone a bit of a losing streak. And now I'm on a losing streak. So we just passed the torch over to me. Anyway, GG, D-Ray. That was a pretty fun game. Thank you for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.